Welcome to the show, B-Girl Jilou. Thank you so much. Out in Germany, this is awesome through the connection through technology. For the viewers and the people that don't know you, can you intro yourself, what crews you're in, and how long you've been dancing, and how did you get exposed to the scene of breaking?
Yes, my name is Jilou. I am 31 years old. I live in Berlin. I grew up in Cologne, two cities with very different mentalities. Berlin is very, I would say, cold, but also very honest, while Cologne is more of a happy type of vibe. I started breaking also 17 years ago
Oh,
in
wow.
2006.
Oh, okay.
I was exposed to breaking because I did gymnastics, but gymnastics always tells you how to do it, how to look, and you're supposed to look like everybody else. That didn't really inspire me. I did a lot of shows for the circus, so I already experienced that kind of freedom of creating movements with music. Yeah, and then my mom actually saw breaking on TV and she decided that that's something for me and
Oh,
sent me
nice.
to a breaking club.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and that's how I started and never stopped. My
Wow.
crews, my first crew is the Nintendo crew, and gotta say, Nintendo crew is celebrating 18 years this year. I would say anybody's really active anymore, but we're still family. We still see each other a few times a year, and some people have babies, some people pursue different career paths, and but it's still super motivating, super inspiring to still meet the boys. And other than that, I
Nice.
am representing Noose, former known as G Makeno. Because nobody could pronounce that name, we decided to rename our crew as Noose, Noos. The name actually just comes from the retail term never out of stock, but we decided
Okay.
to use it as never out of style, never out of stamina, never out of six steps. But at the end, we're Noose. And you make it whatever you want.
uh,
That's pretty much it about me. I started teaching mainly, became part of the show business, performed in some of the biggest shows in Germany, and then I started working with sponsorships. I worked with Red Bull for quite some time, and then before that, I worked with Mary Jula, which is a little clothing brand from Hamburg.
oh, nice.
In 2021, I signed with Nike and recently signed
Oh,
with
yeah.
Samsung.
Oh, no way.
So
That's
yeah.
dope. Oh, snaps. Congratulations. That's awesome. Getting those type of sponsorships or endorsements to, your career path as a full-time dancer. I know there's a lot of challenges and struggles to get this because it's like, hey, when it's the next gig or the next gig, or do I keep winning jams, or how can do this long term, right? And so, which is compete against some of the top talents, and you're also doing commercial and gigs for those companies, and so it's really cool. Let's loop it back where you were. Was there a memorable competitions you've been through before your journey now?
I would say I was with my crew. I traveled all over Germany, all over Europe actually right away. They took me in, they
Oh,
taught
awesome.
me the community, they taught me how to cipher, they taught me what it means to have your own style, which is something I really appreciate because this is actually why I appreciate having a crew because nowadays we have so many dancers who have the whole package. They're good at power moves, they're good at phrases, they're good at that. Most of the big dancers
Yeah.
obviously have individual styles, but we don't really have experts anymore. And in my crew, I would say we had experts. We had people who were really focused on certain things, and for me, that was blow ups and freezes. I
Oh,
loved
nice.
all of that. And I would say, I feel like somehow those times are almost over. We still have experts when it
Uh-huh.
comes to power movers, but in general, we don't see so many experts anymore. So yeah, that came with the crew, and then my first international jam where I traveled alone, which
Uh-huh.
kind of was, I wouldn't say a breakthrough, but like a mental breakthrough because uh, I understood what it means, what I have to sacrifice, what I have to go through to actually make it in breaking, to actually be successful in competitions,
Uh-huh.
which was Evolution Europe in 2012. And actually, I recently just watched it again. It was a Seven to Smoke, and I
Oh, yeah.
did 6 points in a row, I think. Something like that,
What?
6 points in a row. And the last round
That's
was against
cool.
a
Yeah.
French B-Girl. And she actually didn't win against me, but the host thought she won, but it was actually a tie. But the host gave
Oh.
it to her. So yeah,
Oh, no way.
I almost had the ticket to New York, but at the end, Destiny had it. 2012 was the year when there was the big flood in New York, and the edition didn't take place. So I would say Destiny wanted to keep me away from that stress. But yeah, other than that, I would say 2018 was my big breakthrough when it came to success, because I made it first. I made it to the final of Outbreak Europe,
Oh
and I
wow.
feel like people were like, okay, Jilou, we see you. But then 2 months after that, I made it to the final of Silverback.
Oh nice.
And that's when people were like, okay, she made it in Outbreak final, she made it in the Silverback final. She must have some kind of skill. So
And this
I
was
would say from that
2018.
moment on, people kind of, that was
That was in
2018,
was that
yes.
against logistics or I forget who?
Yes, that was
The
against
silverback.
logistics.
That's crazy. I
The
was there.
most demotivating
I
battle I
was
ever
there.
did. I love that
Oh.
girl, but standing in a room full of people that wants you to lose and is screaming USA, USA, and you're just like,
uh,
I am a guest. I like this country, but this doesn't feel like I'm welcome here. No, but other than that, yeah, I understood that everybody wanted her to win, but at the same time, that was tough. That
wow.
was really tough.
And that's crazy you mentioned that out in Philly that you were there because I actually was there in person and to see that and I was like wow that's crazy so
Screaming USA,
yeah,
USA.
yeah. So yeah, were you competing any of the Red Bull ciphers before that or did it kind of everything kick
um
off after that Silverback 2018?
Wait. 2018 was the first Red Bull Cypher for B-Girls.
Oh okay.
So that was, and Red Bull didn't believe in me back then, so they didn't invite
Uh-huh.
me. I actually even like found out that they were like, we don't think Jilou's ready. But
Uh-huh.
I feel like they might have rethought about it, and they invited me for 2019. 2019 was actually also the first time we had a German cipher. We never really had a German cipher before. We had one
Oh
in
wow.
2000, and if I'm right, we had one in 2012. That was one German cipher, and I was actually part of the top 16. Again, it wasn't, there was no bigger battle, so it was just a top 16,
Okay.
and I was part of that. But then internationally, 2019 in India was my first BC1 World Final. 2020, I was invited again to the COVID version.
Is that the webcam through the
2021.
Oh wait,
No,
no, it
no,
was
that
in
was
that.
the one in
It was like a
Austria where
warehouse,
we
right?
traveled.
Yeah, yeah. Never mind. I was thinking a
It
different time.
was, yeah, it was not a warehouse. It was a, is that an English word? Hangar?
The hangar, like
No? Okay.
airplanes,
So it's,
right?
yes, exactly.
Okay, okay.
So it's like a
Yeah,
big
hangar.
garage for airplanes.
Oh
Hangar.
wow.
Okay, cool. That, so it was in there with all the airplanes around us, no audience, most depressing world final I've seen. But they did their best, and I think they still made it work. And we had our people on screens next to us, which was really weird, but it was really fun. And yeah, and then in 2021 in Poland, I won the German Cypher, made it to Poland, lost first round against Vavi, who actually made it to the final of the whole world stage, won the last chance qualifier. Then in 2022, I was not able to do the cipher in Germany because I was actually at the World Games in the US.
Okay.
And then 2023, which was last year, was in Paris, and I was there. Yeah,
Yeah. And then recently, like, didn't you just the German cipher just happened, right?
yeah, I won it
Yeah.
again, third time.
Yeah. Congrats. Yeah. Tight.
Thanks.
That's so cool. The sportsmanship of you showing and competing in those type of competitions definitely high level, right? That high level, the Red Bull does a great job with the top talents to get out there and compete in a professional aspect, and definitely with that exposure help open doors. It's cool
Red Bull
because
is a huge platform for exposure because I feel like it's from all the events that are not the Olympic events, Red Bull has the biggest platform for media. What they're doing right is they have a media day. So the day
yeah,
before the competition, they invite all the media from all over the world, and just give them the chance to talk to the athletes. And I feel like that is something that we as breakers for our own competitions didn't understand yet. So
yeah,
that was never implemented in anything but Red Bull. But yeah, Red Bull is a marketing giant, and they just know how to market anything. Um, So yeah, definitely one of the best platforms you can get as a breaker.
Yeah. And upcoming Rio de Janeiro is the World Finals coming up. Currently, it's like 2 months away, right? And so, how's your daily schedule look like for
No,
training? What is
Rio.
is
Rio
that
de
the final?
Janeiro is in December.
Oh, December. That's it. I don't know.
I think you're talking about the Olympics.
Yeah, forget what I said. I don't know. Anyways, when you're in training mode, what does that look like?
Rewind.
Yeah. Um, so the question, if you're in training mode or competitions, right? What is your daily will look like for from your schedule?
Um, so right now I do have a funny schedule because almost every day I have some kind of media, German national media following me, and it's literally almost every day. So my day looks like this: that I wake up, I have my breakfast, I have my little meditation, I do a little session of yoga that takes about like 30 minutes. Then I take about like 30 minutes to clean up my apartment because usually at
Uh-huh.
10 a.m. The some kind of media arrives at my apartment and we do a 1 hour 90-minute interview in my
Oh
home.
wow.
Um,
Okay.
and then I get about like 30 minutes to an hour of a break. And then we go to the dance school where I train, which is the Flying Steps Academy. And then at the academy, the media films my training. And I train between 1 and 4 or 1 and 5, depending on if I get the studio for 3 or 4 hours. And after that, I try to run errands, do recovery work. Today, I went to the physio because I had like a little uh, weird little injury. I wore a dress for a photo shoot, a fashion shoot that was made for the
Uh,
arms of a model and not the arms of an athlete. So the
oh.
sleeves were way too tight and
Oh.
they kind of like pressed
Cut
on
the
my
blood.
nerves, so I have like a weird
Ah.
tingle on my in my thumb yet. So yeah, so I went to the physio, they treated me today, and or I go to the sauna, use recovery boots, any type of that, like something like that in the evening. And then again, like run errands, do my taxes at the moment.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. The life of the
And then tomorrow,
athlete. Yeah.
same thing again. Media arrives at 10. Yeah.
Wow.
And I feel like it's because it's the first time we're in the Olympics and it's going to be, for right now, it's going to be the last time that we're going to be there. The media is just like sharks all over us.
Oh
So yeah,
wow.
it's a bit crazy at the moment. Yeah.
Nice. You done like commercial and gigs in performances. Is there any memorable ones that sticks out to you?
Performances or like battles or
No, no. Outside of battling, like you done commercial gigs. You done.
outside battle. I would say there's one thing that came to my mind right away. I had a gig that was a 4 month gig, and it was 1 month of rehearsal and 3 months of performing all over Germany and Switzerland. And it was a
Oh
huge
wow.
musical, and it's a little bit like, mm, I don't know, imagine you're growing up with watching Dora the Explorer, and
Uh-huh.
then you're playing a musical with Dora the Explorer. So in Germany,
Oh.
that's called Tabaluga, and it's a little dragon fighting against the evil snowman, and he has all his animal friends, and it's super cute. And I grew up listening to the audiobooks, to the
Oh.
cassettes back then. And um, yeah, and then at some point there was a musical and they started touring again and they were looking for a dancer who could pretty much walk in a plank or in a planche, like all over the catwalk, because the
Uh-huh.
catwalk on of this stage was 25 meters. So they needed a dancer who was actually strong. And the
Wow.
dancer who was supposed to do the spider, which was the role, she got injured in her knee and she was not able to do it anymore. So yeah, that's how I got into that position and that's how I
Okay.
played the musical. And that actually taught me so much. And I played so many different roles. I learned to appreciate breaking so much more because we usually had 2 days or 3 days of shows, 1 day of traveling. Sometimes we traveled in the middle of the night after the show to the next city, sometimes 9 hours, because also we traveled by bus and it was really slow. And
Uh,
then we arrived in the city, and I always had to figure out where can I train this time, where are the people. I had to contact the community of that city, um, and that taught me so much about my own dedication and how much I love breaking and how much I love what I actually do. That I gotta say, I would say that that period actually taught me
mhm.
more about myself. And it was not actually the gig that was special. It was more spending the time with all those professional dancers who come from different backgrounds. You can appreciate, but then also know that I learned from that I want to do breaking. I don't want to do commercial. And I did another gig
Uh-huh.
after later on where I was booked for Porsche, which is the luxury brand. And I was booked as a B girl, but at the end I didn't actually get to dance because the other girl who performed with me,
Uh-huh.
she was a great acrobat and she had amazing tricks, but she didn't break. And but they wanted her to break, but it was hard because she didn't really know how to do top rocks and
Mm,
footworks. We want to do things with style, and if somebody knows the steps but
yeah.
doesn't do them with style, then the choreographer tells you told me to do it the way she did it, and I was like, no, I'm not doing it the way she does it because I know how to do it, and I
Right.
rather just don't do it. So we didn't do footwork, we didn't really do top rock, we just added some flips and made it look good, but at the end I didn't break, and I felt so bad doing this gig. I
Hmm.
decided that from now on I don't want to get booked for gigs anymore unless I have a solo or unless I actually break. And that was how I stopped being in the show business, because
Oh,
I
wow.
realized it doesn't make me happy, it doesn't fulfill me. So I started saying no to the gigs. And
Wow.
that's when the sponsorships came, and that's when I had the great experience of now being a full-time athlete and working with endorsement deals.
That's crazy. That's so cool. Since I haven't shown the craft of the art form, you didn't feel you need to be there, and you found something else down the road, and something better probably happened, right? And so that's cool. That's
Yeah.
crazy and inspiring to hear that. I saw a video uh on YouTube, or maybe I think it's your Facebook or something. So of you winning a jam, right? And you had your mother to
Mhm.
witness your victory. Um, because I would love to have my parents witness me winning a jam. I can only imagine it, right? And you felt it. She was there. If you can remember, could you walk me through the feeling you had during that?
So I don't know which one you saw, but there were actually two jams. There was
Oh,
one in my
okay.
hometown. Actually, I wanted my mom to hold my hand while the decision. So I was pretty sure that they were gonna raise my hand. So I was like, okay, I want to hold my mom's hand and the judge's hand. That was a very special moment. And then last year, the German championships, my mom was in the audience. The moment I won, they did like all the confetti and everything, and I saw my
Ah.
mom in the audience, and I was like, come on stage. And the good thing is the stairs were right on the side. So she ran up the stage and we got to hug each other right after the win. And I feel like honestly celebrating your win with your mom right away, instead of texting or calling her and saying like, hey, I
Uh-huh.
won, and then you talk about it and your mom is happy. And of course my mom's proud of me, but it's super different when the mom is actually there. And my mom is actually also an artist, so
Uh-huh.
she understands how hard the hustle is, how hard it is to work on your craft. That picture over there is actually from her.
Oh, no way.
This one.
Oh, okay. Is she
Yeah.
artist of painting? And
Yes.
wow, that's so cool. That's so awesome. That story, a lot of I think that's inspiring just to see that, inspiring to others that are on the stages because you've enjoyed that moment with somebody that to carry and
Yes.
looked up to you. And so um wow, that's cool. That's tight. So are you working on any projects or anything right now, or anything down the road?
At the moment, I'm my own project
Okay, yeah,
because
nice.
I feel like, well, I'm 31 now, and most of the girls that are competing in the Olympics are a lot younger than me. So I'm kind of like the older
Mhm.
generation now, which I feel like is fine. And I mean, Ayumi is a huge inspiration since she's above 40 and she's still winning so much and she's still fit and she's still doing her thing. So um, yeah, seeing what she's capable of is an inspiration to me. And
Nice. Nice.
yeah, so since I want to keep up with the youth, I decided to actually step up my own breaking, practice a lot more power moves, a lot more ground power, a lot more combinations. And right now I'm just trying to put my things together, and it's just so weird because I do so many things now that I wasn't able to do them before. And honestly, I didn't
Yeah.
even believe in myself that I would be able to do them by now. But to be honest, I have coaches who believe in me and who tell me, no, you got this. And I got to give it to those coaches because they actually believed in me more than I did. And they made me believe in myself, and they made me actually enjoy myself. And I train at the moment, I train harder than I ever did. So yeah, shout out
Wow.
to my coaches, Fatima, who's an old school B girl who started in the 90s,
Ah,
B-Girl
yeah.
Cleopatra, Mighty Zulu Queens. She's my coach. Then there's also Fund, Power Move Conspiracy Fund, super
Okay. Yeah.
crazy, inspirational power mover who moved to Germany actually.
Oh
And then
wow.
there's Kilian from the Saxons, who has a package of everything and is so sharp in his dancing and has so many very intricate combinations that he's showing me, that he's teaching me, that I get to use. And it's, yeah, it's just amazing that I have all these coaches. And then there's Rossi, who's, and this is something new. So
Hmm.
we have different clubs. And in order to be part of the whole federation, to be part of the Olympics, you have to be part
Hmm.
of a club. And I was part of a Berlin club, but that
Uh-huh.
club had nothing to do with breaking. They did standard Latin dances and all these things, ballroom dances. So at some point I was like, I kind of want to be part of a club that is a little bit more real, so that they are investing in breaking, they are organizing events or something like that. So I found out that
Okay.
there's actually 3 hours away from where I live, there's this club, which is 84 Till.
Yeah. It cut off for a second, but all good.
Sorry,
It's fine.
I'm back. Um,
The coaches
so yeah,
and
so I became part of that. So I became part of that club because I felt like it was more
mhm.
authentic. And now there's the head of that club is also one of my coaches, and he's just looking over everything that I do. So kind of like Fatima, Cleopatra, he also kind of looks over everything, but he also manages a lot of like things around. He organizes camps, and yeah. So I have all these four coaches, and I give a lot of respect to all of them because they really invest their time and their mind in me.
Yeah. Wow. That's tight. And mention like the coaches and mentor that help you guide kind of your path. They can look at it and they can see it in a third person view. Hey, you have more potential in this area. Work on this. That helps you guide that you might not see. And so I think definitely mentoring coaches definitely um, can help you in a great long term and aspect to see it in a different point of view. So wow.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally felt like I was stuck in what I was doing, and I was doing the same moves for more than a decade. So I definitely needed another point of view, and I definitely needed, yeah, people to like make me break out of what I did before.
Nice. Nice. And you mentioned you said you're 31. I think you have a long time to go. I'm 36, right? And I started back in '06, but when I was 18, but I feel like I'm not even finished. I feel like I have so much learning to do. I could do power moves.
Same.
The only one I can't do is air flares, right? And I was like, that's like every breaker, B-boy, B-girl's dream to do an air flare. And so in my head, I'm like, I should try to at least get one or two, and then check that
Do
part
it.
off and
Do
keep
it.
flowing.
The over
But
30 power move.
right, yeah, and yeah, it's crazy. And as I'm getting older, it's just more knowledge I'm building up and learning. And as you mentioned, the younger, I feel like there's so much. You got a lot of time ahead of me still to to succeed and hit goals and achievements down the road.
Definitely, definitely. But I gotta say, lately it's been super motivating to have goals, to have deadlines pretty much, because the next competition is in Shanghai, and we're recording right now. And in 1 week, I'm gonna fly to Shanghai, and I'm gonna be at this Olympic qualifier. So I do have a deadline until
Oh yeah,
when
the
my moves
OQS,
have to
right?
work.
Yeah.
And I have to make a decision because there will be moves that I'm training that I won't be able to use because they're not ready yet. So I have to make a decision: what moves am I using, what moves am I not using? And yeah, not
Ooh.
easy.
That's a that's a whole nother level, right? To strategize and to the next, like you're playing a game of chess in a sense. But
Have you always lived in Portland?
so yeah, the crazy thing, I always lived in Portland, Oregon, right? The crew when I was growing up, um, the crew, as in, I'm the only one that's like active in the crew. I don't call us a crew anymore because I'm like the only one that's was hungry. Like the past 10 years, all the other people either fell out, they didn't want to compete in battle. I just love it. I don't know. I love being out there competing and dancing and I don't know. I just have like a thrill, I guess, like on the spotlight, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go hard and make sure I perform good and stuff like that. And so I always enjoyed it just overall, and I definitely want to figure out how to do this long term because I love the dance and the scene and the culture of the hip hop and everything. And right now it's like I mentioned, that I wanted people to go with me. Let's do this together.
Yeah, what I've learned in the past was that at the end, I can only rely on myself, and I am going on my path. And sometimes my path crosses paths with somebody. So sometimes it just crosses. Sometimes
Mm,
people have the same path with you for some time, but then the paths
yeah, I
split
know what you mean.
again. So, and I don't think you can force anybody to walk on your path, because we all have our individual paths, and it's just, yeah, we have to see what works for us. And sometimes, and some, for example, when you have a partner in your life, that's when you share a path for a long time, and but you also just share a part of your path, not the whole thing. So just as you
Mm,
see, like, right? I mean, my partner, for example, is not a b-boy,
yeah,
so we do share the passion for training, but that very differently. I feel like if you want to do something, it's super important to set those goals and don't depend on anybody else. Because the thing is, if you depend on your goals on somebody else who doesn't have the same goal, whose goal
right.
is a different direction. Maybe this podcast, if they want to join the project of the podcast, maybe the podcast is not the goal. And then also
Hmm.
the question is, and this is what I've been asking a lot of people, because I do content, and I feel
Uh-huh.
like I do it quite successfully, because I chose Instagram as a platform. Um, and I do have a blog, and I haven't been
Oh,
writing
dope.
for a while now, for a few years, but I did before. And yeah, that is something that I really enjoy. But at the same time, I could never do it with somebody. I had the help of people, so I helped them on their
Right.
path. I help people with their own content. But then what I ask people is usually, what is your goal? So when people tell me they want to win this and that jam, then I ask, okay, but why?
Yeah.
And if you can't tell me why, and I've had several conversations like that, where people say like, "Oh yeah, I want to win because I want to be the best," or, and then I'm like, "Okay, but what does it give you being the best? Why?
Right.
Wait, what is it?" So at the end, my main goal is to be happy, to be satisfied, to be so winning is not, at the end, it doesn't satisfy you, but it gives you a feeling of, okay, I worked for this, and this is the result of my work. So
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
one thing. And then also, of course, with breaking, you get invites, you get to travel, you get to meet more people. And this is something that I love. I love traveling, I love meeting people. But do I want to do it on the cost of something that I don't want to do? Definitely not. So, for example, if I only get to
Yeah.
travel to a country, do some judging, and then have to peace out at 5 in the morning because I have to catch a flight, then this is not what I signed up for. So I do want to travel. I want to meet people. So that's why I enjoy judging, but I do want to see
Hmm.
something of the culture, the country, the people. I want to have some time. So if the judging is very intense, I do want to arrive maybe a day earlier or stay a day longer, just to meet the culture, to see the culture. Because at the end, I
Yeah.
don't feel like I was born to work for money. I think I was born to experience this life, be on this journey, and see what comes out of it. Because
Right.
there's only so much that I can actually put into it. But then I am here to experience. I'm here to learn. I'm not here to fulfill anybody's expectations. So that's
Yeah.
why, yeah. When I want to ask you, like, you want to make content. First
Uh-huh.
of all, what content? And try to keep your answer short, because the shorter it
Yeah.
is, the more you know about yourself. So what type of content do you want? What platform do you want to work on?
So for platform, I'm kind of doing all of it right now. So I'm doing well.
Okay.
Okay, before I started Instagram, before I started the for content, it was YouTube, right? I always wanted to build a nice following through YouTube, right? I actually really enjoy doing vlogs, to be honest. Um, I used to do some of that with like I used to do a lot of gaming content like 10 years ago, and I was doing vlogs and stuff. I enjoyed it. I'll go to events, kind of filming, talking, blah blah blah, then edit after. And I kind of like want to do that for events for breaking too. But then, um, but there's so many different things I can do as one person, right? And so, uh, that's just one method. But
Okay, let
the
me cut you
main,
off here because I
oh,
said
okay.
keep it short. I'm
Oh,
gonna cut you off here now because that was
I
way too
have to,
long as an answer. Okay, I
yeah,
give
but I
you the
got,
next question.
okay,
Okay, no. Next question. Next question. 3 words. Nothing else. Okay.
okay.
Describe your content in 3 words. Nothing else. Okay.
Okay. Value, inspire, and entertaining.
Value, inspire, and entertaining. That's very broad. Who's your audience? And give me one sentence. Who's your audience? Oh,
Man,
tell me
it's
in three
okay.
words. Tell me the qualities of your audience. So, for example, my audience is breakers,
Okay.
dancers in general, and people who seek for motivation.
Okay. That's very, I
So,
would say similar to it, which is
okay.
dancers. Yeah. Uh, Back to that first question, you said keep it short. I got just a big I guess the main goal through the content, I definitely want to figure out how to obviously get monetized and built through content, right? And I definitely want to use funding to create jams or create other things down the road using it. And so I don't I just have it's a long question and a short question at once. I can't keep it short but the main goal is um, build through content through a business so I can help throw jams, organize events down the road because I enjoy doing events, coordinating it, stuff like that. Building a lot of my ideas into life, and so yeah, so man, it's
So
okay.
you want to
I
say
can't keep it short.
content. No, but
Uh-huh.
that's important to keep it short because only like
Yeah.
that you can formulate what you actually want to do. Because if you have a lot of da 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 and don't define it in a few words, then it's too broad. And in order to
Mm,
actually achieve your goals, you need to keep them small. And to be honest, from what I hear from you, your goal is not making content. Your goal, content sounds more like a tool to organize jams
yeah.
because that's what you said. You want to create content that creates an
That's
income that can be used into the community.
I think you're spot
So
on.
this
Yep.
is so that's why I keep asking people, why do you want to make content? Who do you want to reach, and what is it that you want to actually do with it? Because the problem is most people don't define that, and then they end up doing everything, and then they lose. Because the problem, it's cool to do everything, but then you lose energy, you lose time.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
this is something that I also realized in the States. Time is so valuable because you don't. I feel
Yeah.
like in the States you even have less time than over here in Europe, because over here in Europe, we have one job and we usually can live from that. And that's what I realized in the States. That's not the case. And the cost of
Oh,
living is so much higher. So yes, so that's why I understand. But I feel like it's super important to really know what is your goal and what are the tools. So at the same,
yeah.
so for example, for me, Instagram content is not a goal. Never been.
Right.
Exposure never really been the goal. Exposure has been a tool to do whatever I want to do. For example, I would like to make lives of other people better. That actually does give me a lot. So
Mm, yeah.
if I can teach, I stopped teaching because I felt like, no, these people don't want my knowledge. They don't enjoy it. They want entertainment, but I'm not an entertainer in class. I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. So I stopped teaching classes because I don't want to be an entertainer. So I
Mm,
still have people that I mentor. I don't teach them steps. I try to guide them to wherever they want to go so that they can achieve what they want to do, which at the end, everybody can, like, a lot of dancers can teach you a 6 step, a lot of dancers can teach you how to
right.
do a phrase. But I think my strength is not teaching you a move. My strength is more what do you want to do with that move? Why do you want to? So asking you, why do you want to learn an air flare?
Uh,
That would be more the
right.
question, because if you know your why, then your motivation and your dedication towards that goal is going to be completely different. So I do want to
Right.
make the world a better place for women, people of color, because I do see that there are a lot of problems. I do see that women don't get the same exposure like men in sports. And I feel like that's something that needs to be changed. And I feel like this is, again, the exposure that I have is a tool. So I get to use my platform, I
Yeah.
get to use my voice, I even get to use my face to amplify that message and to actually make that message stronger, to bring it out there, because somebody has to do it and I can be that
Right.
person.
Right.
So yeah, what is the goal at the end? Do you want to invest in the community? Why? Why do you want to invest in that community? See,
Right.
these are all the questions that you need to ask yourself.
So I guess let's take it back. What made me do this was, I didn't mention Phil Wizard. So seeing somebody that I knew that in the community was just like a normal person, local, you see like at a jam, the smaller, small town, right? For example, and then seeing them to be at that high level stages where it'd be like, oh wow, it kind of self-reflection of me of like, oh, if I didn't stop, maybe I could have been there. Who knows, right? And so I want to give people's mindset and value to that other people, you can do it if you get the right mindset. And so that's what kind of comes into
Yes.
value and inspire others, because it's cool to see somebody that you knew and be like, oh wow, they're doing this now, they're up here doing big things, right? um but is it really that big out there? I don't know, like unless I try. And so that's just kind of one of the outreach I'm trying, so yeah, I
Cool.
don't know, I can't keep it short. But the main thing right now is just, inspiring others, and keep me my mindset pure and learn from others, and down the road definitely invest into the community, into breaking in the hip hop scene, to build something that it sustains, I guess, sustains, and it lives on down the road from a company or business people have the same mindset and goals together.
Got it. Sounds right. Sounds like you actually defined it a little bit more now. So the goal
Yeah.
is to invest in the community, to inspire people and to motivate them to keep going, because you want them to see the opportunities that are out there for them. And the tools is the content that you create, the people that you talk to, the experiences that you get, so that you have more stories that you can tell to show that it's possible. Is that right?
Props. Yes. That's wow.
15
That was
seconds, boom.
crazy. That was tight. Like, wow. Yeah, that was dope. I don't know. That was cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, just
But
rewinding a little bit. I'm 31 now. I have thought a little bit about what I do want to do with my life after active braking, and I do want to lift up people and their business and their mindset in that sense, because I feel like especially breakers have a lot of potential to do something, but a lot of breakers don't understand
mm,
how to use the tools properly and how to
right.
actually define their own goals. Because again, a lot of people say they want to win. And again, I ask you, why do you want to win? Because if you just
Yeah.
want to win for, I don't know, for the money, then I'm going to tell you it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. The money is gone like this.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right.
so, yeah, it's not worth it, especially winning jams in. So a lot of people think I won a lot. I
hmm
don't. I did win quite some jams, but when I so would you say I won a lot of jams?
By the overall view, look over it, the stuff you have done, I would say yes. You won a lot of
Cool.
jams,
So
right?
let me ask you, what did I win?
I think I know. You won experience. You won a new
Oh no no no, that's
goal.
not what I'm saying.
Uh,
I'm actually talking about battles. You're
oh, okay,
completely
okay.
right. I did
I'm
win that,
thinking
but
of
no, what?
something else. Okay.
No,
Uh,
because
you won
I want
cash
people to know
prize.
that
You
winning
won a
battles.
trophy. You know,
No,
like
no, no. Which event did I win? I didn't win silverback. What did I win? Because when people hear Jilou, a lot of people say, "Yeah, you won a lot of jams." But then I ask you, like, "Are you sure
mhm.
which jam did I win?" So,
Yeah, it's
excluding all the things that I've told you, what did I
right.
win? What jam? See, and it's totally fine, because the thing is, I didn't win anything crazy. But at the end, what matters is that I've been there, that I've done there, that I've shown myself, and I've been there for so long. That's what mattered. And this is why I keep telling people winning a jam, winning something is not the ultimate goal, because this is not what, because at the end, that moment is gone within 2-3 days. That hype,
Right.
that
Yes.
moment, that high that you feel from winning something is gone so fast. And the thing is, the problem is, the more you win, the more you want it, and the less you get this high. So at some point, because
Mhm.
I've been winning a lot of national jams, actually, a lot of national um, events here in Germany, it doesn't give me that same kick anymore that it gave me in the past, that it gave me 5 years ago. It became more of a pressure, more of like, I have to win this because I've done it before, not that I have to win this because I want to. So this is why I keep telling people winning
Yeah.
is one thing, but at the end, make sure why you want to win. Because if you know the why, then this is gonna give you a reason. This is gonna make you more successful, and this is what keeps you going. Because the problem is, winning is not really gonna keep you going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 100%,
Yeah.
100% on that. It's like you said, it's a good 2 3 days of, of the fame of winning that jam, but then what's the next goal after,
Yes.
and what is the
Exactly.
outcome of winning it? So
Latest 1 year
that's
after, when
so
the next
tight.
person wins the same jam a year after, you're not the one having the trophy anymore.
Yeah, and then some people could beat themselves up, or get very negative through that because of that, right? And so
Yes.
I think what you mentioned, it's amazing, and it should inspire others, not just myself, but others, because there's a lot more to it than just winning that trophy, winning that
Yes.
prize. There's a lot more to it
Yes.
than just that. And so yeah, so I think a lot of people may understand it, and there's a lot that don't understand, right? And so wow, yeah, there's a point of time. One of my goals 6 months ago, I'm like, I want to train really hard and be one of, like, on the footwork bracket, right? That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the jam. I kind of stayed in and caught up on video editing, and kind of hanged out with, like, my family and stuff like that. I was like, because I was the only one going there. None of my friends that go didn't want to go. I was like, do I want to make the trip out there and go and try to compete? But then, like, if I win it, cool, I'll be on it. But then I was like, what's the outcome? I'd rather stay home and do my own thing, and just so. Therefore, I meant, even though Massive Monkey Day is coming up, I definitely will enter when I'm there. But this previous one, I was like, okay, I do want to win, but what if I don't win? Am I gonna come home feeling upset and spend 3 hours driving there, all day at the jam, come drive back another 3 hours? Like, that's all day. Or do I want to stay home and kind of work on other things? Yeah. So when you mentioned, if I did win, okay, cool, I'll be on a bracket, but then I can also just compete when I'm there, when that actually the day of, right? So yeah.
Here we go.
So to me, the
You
goal,
defined your
I
goal and you saw what's the tool.
yeah, yeah. To me, the win was like, oh, cool, I caught up on content, because I caught up on Heat Rock. I did some edits. I had a podcast with Domkey. I'm about to drop his in a couple of days. I did one with Nasty Ray. I did a lot of edits, and so um, yeah. Anyways,
So
through the
long
pot.
story short, every day we have to make a decision, and we can make a decision towards our goal, or we can make a decision towards something that might be our goal, but we actually didn't define it yet. So you made a decision to actually go for working on your tools,
Yeah.
because you've
Yes.
been working on the content, but the tools are what gets
Yeah.
you to the goal.
Uh,
But one of your goals is massive monkeys, but then at the end
it
you
is.
realize you already have the tools to get there.
Right.
So you didn't need that jam.
Yeah.
So this is, and again, like this is how our everyday decision goes, and especially when we do something like artistry, something like breaking, I feel like especially there we can't really rely on blueprints, because we are doing something that hasn't really been done before. I was the first Nike athlete worldwide. I was
Oh,
also the
same.
first to negotiate with Nike, and I was, yeah, and I did have the help of Eddie Styles back then, who helped me out with that. But then at the end, we're making so many decisions nowadays that it's always the question is, where do we want to go? Because it was my goal. It was not my goal. It was a dream to be part of the Nike athletes. And being
Yes.
the very first was actually a dream coming true. Then I wanted to play in a movie. So what
Oh,
did I
okay.
do? I shoe my face. I shoe that I can act. I can show that I actually, I don't know. I try to see the opportunities that are there, and when I saw that there was an opportunity to actually act in a movie, I decided to apply for it. So, and that worked out as well. So last year, a breaking movie actually came out on Sky
Oh.
TV, and so all these things, it's that's why I'm saying, like, it's whatever your goal is, it's super important to define that very, very clear. And now my goal is actually just to, right now, I do want to be
Hmm.
happy and I want to stay sane, because the journey that we're going with the Olympics right now is so intense, and it makes you question everything. It makes you question,
Oh
do I
wow.
like breaking? Do I want to keep breaking? Do I want to really train this hard? Do I want to sacrifice everything? So because I'm not seeing my family, I'm not really seeing my friends. I train alone most of the time because most of the sessions
Hmm.
that are public are in the evenings. But if I go to the evening sessions and I come back home at 11 p.m., I still need to eat because I still need to get my proteins, because the way I train so hard that it's a toll on my body. And because I have another shoot tomorrow at 10 in the morning, I can't be training until 10 in the evening. So I
Yeah.
do train
Right.
during the day. I train between 1 and 5 because that's the time where my body is the strongest. And also, thinking about the competitions nowadays, a lot of times the battles are around 3 or 4, or sometimes even at 10 in the morning. So
Hmm.
it's not even the smartest to train in the night, because if your body is not ready to dance at 10 a.m., then you won't be
Yeah.
succeeding in those competitions. So yeah, putting all that together, I train alone most of the times. I really need to love training itself and not only the community. I do love the
Yeah.
community. I love sessions. I love training with other dancers. But at the end, my goal right now is to qualify for the Olympics. So
Yeah.
in order for that, I can't be training at the sessions anymore, because the sessions are not good for my body and I don't want to get injured right now. So I
Right.
have a
Right.
sacrifice. Yeah. Again, like, I feel like putting everything together, if you know your goals, if you know what it takes to get there, if you know what is a tool, just define what is a tool, what is a goal. Content, is it a goal, is it a tool? Because a lot of people, especially now the kids, they all want to become influencers. Why? What is the
Right.
goal?
Yeah.
Do they enjoy the exposure? Do they enjoy being admired? And this is something that so many people talk down on, it being admired. Being admired feels great. And it's
Hmm.
okay. If that's your goal, you don't have to say it to the public. You just have to tell yourself, my goal is to be admired. My
Yeah.
goal is to, and again, a lot of people think working as an influencer is easy. No, it's not, because you work with brands and those brands want your content on a deadline, and then they tell you, no, we don't like this about the content. And then you get the video, you have to cut it again, you have to edit it again, you send it to them, and then it gets approved, and then you have to post it at a certain time. And then you're waiting for the
Yeah.
next, you're trying to get the next content work that you're doing. So working as an influencer, and again, if you work as an
Yeah.
influencer, a lot of time you have to promote products,
Hmm.
right? I mean, I do
Right.
hear a lot of podcasts, they do their own thing, and then in the
Right.
middle they have, now comes the advertisement break, here is
Yeah.
buy this hair product, or whatever, this hair product is supporting this episode. Yes, the advertisement break works for podcasts, but I don't do podcasts, so I do need to see, how can I showcase my partners, how can I showcase the collaborations that I do. And that's always a compromise, because I do want to showcase my art and I don't want to showcase what I do, right? So
Right.
obviously having a partner such as Nike, where I just wear the logo and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
here, and
Uh,
now I do whatever I want to do. So that's great. But then also I do have partners that are not that easy to promote. Um, and
yeah.
again, the promotion of the partners is not my goal. It's not my goal anymore to have those partners. They are a
Right.
tool to reach my dream, because my dream right now is to just build opportunities to more parity, to more equality, build more opportunities for breakers in the society, but also for women in breaking. Here we go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to explore the world a little bit for myself.
There you go. Yeah. Right. For sure. I think I might wrap it up right here. But before we do, I like to do what's a cipher round, and so it's not their typical get down cipher. It's 5 questions and whatever you could probably think of in your mind.
The
Okay,
quick
all right.
fire game.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's hit up with the cipher round. So, what is your favorite breaking move?
90s.
Nike? Wait, 90s or Nikes?
90s. 90s. Spinning on my hand.
1990s? Oh, word. Okay,
I can't do
dope.
it, but it's my favorite move.
Is it? Okay, cool, cool. I could do like 2 rounds. I think the most I ever hit was like 3 or 4, and that was yeah. Do you have a
I think my
favorite?
maximum was 2.
Was it okay? You have a favorite artist or band you listen to? That could be
I
very
love
huge.
her,
Her,
or the internet. When it comes to hip hop, my favorite artist is Sarok, the MC.
Sir Rock. Okay, tight.
Um, yeah, Philly. Yeah, Erica Badu, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
tight,
And lately I've
tight.
been listening to a lot of Cardi B because it motivates me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Get it pumped up, get adrenaline, get
Yep.
the upbeats and stuff. Yeah. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
Yeah, I do.
You okay? It's a hate it love it
I am
question.
one of
So
those.
okay, okay. Do you have a favorite book, or are you listening to any audiobooks right now?
I do have a favorite book, but I need to see Pope Joan. I think that's the name in
Pop,
English because I did
Pope
read it in
Joan.
German. Pope, like
Oh,
the
okay.
Pope in
Uh huh.
the
Oh,
Vatican.
what?
So
Okay.
it's about a woman becoming the Pope, and it's
Oh,
super
wow.
inspiring because she decides, because it plays, I don't know, in the Middle Age, and she realizes that women don't have any opportunities, so she wants to be a man. And it talks a lot about the inner struggles that she has with not really being herself, but with still being herself, but she's not really part, she doesn't really fit into that society. So yeah, that's, I would say that was the book that I enjoyed the most.
Awesome. Right. Hi, and here comes the last question. If you can enter with anybody in a competition for a 2 versus 2, do you know who would that be?
No Index, my best friend.
Okay. Tight, tight. Cool.
Yeah, crewmates,
Um,
best friends, 2 and 2
yes.
partner for life. um,
Cool. I think that's all we have for today. And any last advice, takeaway for me or from the viewers?
I would say, so we've been talking a lot about goals and tools and setting your goals, and I would say something that you should remember is, by when choosing your goals and asking the question why, make sure that it makes you happy and not doesn't then it's not a goal that satisfy other people,
Mm,
because a lot of times we are not aware how much we satisfy society, other people, how much we are people pleaser. So at the end, it
yeah.
really matters if it actually makes you happy and not others. So yeah, when setting your goals, make sure it makes you happy. And again, nothing's wrong with thinking about yourself. If you enjoy being admired, enjoy being admired.
Ah, that's some fire stuff. Fire stuff. Jilou. Hey, thank you for getting on the show. If people want to get in touch with you, how can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram, B-Girl Jilou, Jilou. And they could read my blog, which is justjilu .wordpress.com.
Okay.
I didn't write a lot lately, but I still have the idea of writing more in the future again. So yeah, I would say these 2 platforms are my main platforms. Yeah, that's it.
Dope. Awesome. And I definitely leave those on the details in the description below, where you can find B-Girl Jilou, her blogs, upcoming soon for updates on that. Hey, thank you guys for watching. You can find this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'm your host, Tony 7, and thank you for watching. Peace.
Peace.